All right, Jim Gray, quiet, understated resolve, the common thread from both fighters, but the action will be there in the ring. All right, folks, we've got one more bout to go. Before we get to the main event, let's take you back downstairs to Gus Johnson.
All right, JB. Wilfredo Vazquez Jr.'s father was a 3-division world champion and one of the greatest Puerto Rican fighters ever. His son is doing pretty well himself. He won the WBO title 15 months ago, and this will be Vazquez Jr.'s third defense. His challenger, a familiar face, former champion Jorge Arce, who will be engaging in his 24th world title fight. Vazquez Jr. versus Arce. And we missed Jorge Arce with his signature lollipop and cowboy hat, always flamboyant. He says he's not as hyper as he used to be. And what are the keys for this veteran?
Well, for Jorge Arce, however he does it, he has got to get on the inside and inside the long punches of Vazquez that can hurt him. And once he's there, he's got to make this a messy brawl. Just do anything he can to rough up Vazquez. His best weapons when he's on the inside will be left hooks to both the body and the head. He can throw that punch very well.
Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. trained by his father, the great champion Wilfredo Vazquez Sr. No amateur fights, but an undefeated record, only one draw. And what are the keys for this young, sensational Puerto Rican champion? Lateral
movement is really important. That is like kryptonite to Jorge Arce, so he's got to show him some movement. Vazquez is an excellent body puncher, and Arce is the smaller and older man, so you'd want to go to the body. The Vazquez right hand, that is his money punch. He hopes to land it tonight and maybe get a knockout with it.
So let's size him up, Al, as we check out the tail of the tape.
Well, you can see the big numbers here are is the height advantage for Vazquez. There's not a giant reach advantage. There's none at all, in fact. But Arce doesn't fight tall, and Arce, the older man, been in a lot of wars.
So we're ready for Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. versus Jorge Arce for the WBO Super Bantamweight Championship. Let's get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand here in Las Vegas, Nevada, at this time, we present a World Championship attraction brought to you by Top Rank Incorporated in association with Tecate, Cerveza con Carácter, and Showtime. Also made possible by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. Mortal Kombat Fatality lives, owned it on PS3 or Xbox today. And Smart Communications, the Philippines' largest mobile phone company. This bout is also presented in conjunction with All-Star Boxing and Zenfer Promotions and is sanctioned by the WBO President Francisco Valcarcel, Supervisor Luis Perez, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Introducing our three judges scoring from ringside. From Reno, Nevada, Bert Clements. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Robert Hoyle. And from Muncie, Indiana, Gary Merritt. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, fair but firm, Joe Cortez. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBO Junior Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, on my right, the challenger fighting out of the blue corner, wearing silver trunks with blue trim, fighting out of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico. He weighed in at the junior featherweight limit of 122 pounds with a record of 56 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws. He has 43 wins coming by way of knockout. He is ranked the WBO #1 junior featherweight contender. Here is the longtime WBC light flyweight world champion and the former WBO junior bantamweight champion of the world, introducing the popular Jorge El Travieso Arce. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with purple trim, fighting out of and representing his home of Bayamon, Puerto Rico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 122 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 20 wins, no losses, 1 draw with 17 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making the 3rd defense of his title. Please welcome the undefeated WBO Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, introducing el hijo del orgullo de Puerto Rico, Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. Once again, a referee in charge. Now to give instructions, Joe Cortez.
Okay, caballeros, ya vi la regla del camerino. I gave you both the instructions in the dressing room. La truza tuya también. La tuya, you're a little bit high, un poquito alta. Quiero una pelea limpia, proteste en todo momento. Take yourselves at all time. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch him up.
Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. defending his WBO Junior Featherweight World title. He kisses his father, the former champion. And Jorge Arce, 31 years old, 56, 6-2. Experience versus youth and skill.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's going to be a major key in this fight tonight, experience.
You know, Vazquez with no amateur fights in the 21 pro fights, and Arce was also an experienced amateur, and you know, he's had almost 60 fights as a professional, so there is a big difference. But Vazquez has shown in recent fights that he has the makings of a really good boxer puncher, and he's starting to become a smooth fighter. You know what's funny though? Arce, who came all the way up from flyweight, when you look at these two men in the ring, Antonio, he doesn't look like the smaller fighter, Arce, does he?
Well, I'll tell you what, they both look in tremendous shape. And no, he really doesn't. He's muscular, but I'll say that Vazquez has strong legs. He has some big calves on him.
As for Vazquez, he is coming off an 11th round TKO win against former WBO Junior Bantamweight World Champion Ivan Hernandez in his last fight, October of 2010.
And when he beat Zsolt Bidic from Hungary, defending his title, a fight that people thought would be very difficult, and he just dominated him. That was the fight in which people said to themselves, this young man could be a good pro. Good left hook by Arce there.
And Vazquez won the WBO Junior Featherweight World title by knocking out previously undefeated southpaw Marvin Sansona, February of 2010, stopping him in the 4th round with a left hook to the body.
This is the boxing and movement that Vazquez would like a little bit of, to give Arce something to think about.
Right there is where I think Arce will have his biggest impact. Is when he has Vazquez Jr. on the ropes and he's coming with those devastating body shots.
That was a good left hook downstairs before that you referenced by Arce. Yeah.
Nice looping right hand by Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. Arce, oh, beautiful left hook. And that hurt him. Vazquez Jr. holds on.
Yeah,
Arce said once he gets inside, this kid is going to have problems with me. Right hand. Arce stalking. Vazquez backing up. Short right hand connecting for Vazquez Jr. Arce to the body, hooking up top. Arce really laying into his punches. Sitting on him. 20 seconds ago in the 1st round.
That's the firefight that Jorge Arce loves, and he made that the way he wanted it.
Closing moments of the 1st round. The veteran Arce, a very solid beginning.
Everything good? Okay, that was the 1st round. Keep going in the middle. You keep fighting him in the middle, okay? And you close up a little more, okay? And protect yourself inside. You can't keep working upstairs.
The right hand of Arce, that one he kind of leaned in on. He shouldn't be landing punches from that far out against Vazquez. That's really surprising. He had him kind of against the ropes, and those are kind of wide looping punches, but they did get in for Arce. That left hook from outside is not one you expect to land for him.
Well, you know what? Vazquez Jr. relaxed there for a minute. He thought he was out of the way, but you saw his way. Arce jumped in with that hook. It wasn't just a hook that he turned over. He leaped in with that hook and caught him.
Jorge Arce, former two-time world champion at light flyweight. That's 108 pounds. Also a three-time interim world champion at light flyweight, flyweight, and super flyweight, 108, 112, 115.
This could turn into a real firefight because Vazquez has decided to go after Arce.
Well, you definitely don't want Arce backing you up, so you might as well back him up.
Boy, are you right. That's exactly right. And of course, Vazquez needs to stay in the center of the ring. Getting against the ropes is not good for him. By the way, his father, one of three father-son funds that have won world championships: Leon Spinks and Corey Spinks, Floyd Patterson, Tracy Harris Patterson, and Judy Espada and his son.
And you know what I'm surprised at seeing? That Arce is able to counterpunch Vazquez Jr. That I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Arce telling us that he wanted to fight him close from the very beginning. And once he started touching him to the body, the young man would have problems. When you just look at their faces. Vazquez Jr. so young. Arce, you can see the wars, body shots.
That's some good action. Both are charming men, each in their own way. I mean, you sit in a room with either of these men, they light up the room, don't they?
Very engaging, very engaging.
Vazquez Jr.
Right now, they're kind of lighting up the ring with some great action.
And if the fight continues like this, I understand what Arce was saying. He said he called him a baby because he's never been in a real war with a real man. So right now, in Arce's mind, school's in.
And you see, Jorge Arce is not the classic fighter, but he just gets the job done. Oh, nice shots by Vazquez, though.
Now Arce saying, bring it on.
He's nothing if not colorful.
Nice jab by Arce. A left hook lands for Arce. Right hand. Another right hand. Arce wants to make this a brawl, and that's what he's doing in the second round.
Both men are landing big shots, and both men now landing big body shots. This is a fun fight already.
Arce, an action fighter, one of the most popular human beings in all of Mexico.
Yeah, he points out that he is, and might not be the best Mexican fighter, but he's the most popular. It was on Dancing with the Stars in Mexico, and the ratings shot to the top when he was on. Finished third, by the way.
Don't tell him he's not the best. You know, this is the fight that Arce wanted. This is what he wanted to go in here with that type of pressure.
Okay, you're doing great. You're doing great. Very good. This is the third round coming up. Okay, enjoy this fight. You're enjoying it, but just keep working. Keep working on what you're doing now.
In the last round, Jorge Arce pressing forward. And it wasn't that he didn't take punches while pressing forward, but in this sequence, you see him ripping the body. Both men actually doing some very good body work, but Arce just committed to that. And we will find out at a certain point at this as this round continues. There's the left hook of Arce, which has been a signature punch for him, and is landing from far out on some occasions. Vazquez trying to counter punch, but Arce's pressure is having some effect on him. And you can see that right hand, not delivered straight by Arce. It's not perfect, but it got there.
Third round scheduled for 12 for the WBO Junior Featherweight World Title. The champion, Wilfredo Vazquez Jr., undefeated, 20-0-1 with 17 KOs, is in the white trunks, and veteran Jorge Arce in the silver and blue. And so far, Arce has dictated the pace. And Al, you're such a great boxing historian. There have been some classic matchups between Puerto Rican fighters and Mexican fighters over the years.
Absolutely. You know, Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito. Recently, Ivan Calderon and Giovanni Segura, Trinidad and Campos, Camacho Chavez, Rosario Chavez. You go down the list. It's just a very, very great rivalry that you see on a regular basis in boxing, and it's fun because both countries are very avid about their boxing.
And a very active fight so far, Al.
Yeah, lots of punches being thrown, and Arce throwing more. They're very close in landing, but the activity of Arce shows you he's pressing the fight.
Now some blood on the bridge of the nose of Arce. One thing that Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. has shown in his young career is that he's patient. He could get you out of there in the later rounds.
Well, he's going to need that type of patience tonight, and I would advise him to roll up under some of those shots and move out instead of going straight back. You know, he needs to start giving Arce some angles.
1:21 to go in the third round. Arce takes a left hook, keeps coming forward, delivers double left hook.
This is some fight.
Beautiful.
He's been in these firefights before. They had a fight with Hussein years ago, Jorge Arce, that I still can't believe was, again, on an undercard of one of the major fights. It was a total war for almost 12 rounds, and nobody could believe both men were standing. And that's the way Arce fights, and this one is shaping up as quite a brawl.
However, I like Wilfredo Vazquez Jr.'s composure, Antonio.
Yeah, he's composed well beyond his age. But again, this is a tough fight for him. And you can see early, he's taking a lot of punishment.
It's the best I've seen Jorge Arce in a while. He's 4-0-1 since he last lost, and it was all in the year 2010. He had a very busy and productive year, and I'll tell you what, he's fighting as well as I've seen him in a long time.
And we mentioned the cuts, and maybe the cuts probably being a problem. I see that Arce has a cut of some sort on the left bridge of his nose, if not by his eye.
What'd he tell us? I love cuts. It gets me going. I expect to bleed.
And he just landed a beautiful over-the-top right hand, and I think it stunned young Vazquez.
It appears that heads came together and caused that cut on the side of the nose. There it is, yep. And that's probably the spot that caused that cut. But it didn't deter Jorge Arce because he kept coming forward, even in the face of those counterpunches by Vazquez, and was able to land the left hook. You see the posture as Arce attacks. He's not even thinking about defense. He just wants to attack. He's wide open. So if you're a good counterpuncher, you're going to hit him with punches, but can you stop him? Manuel Montiel, of course, the father of Fernando Montiel, his trainer, who is the man that works with him.
And Manuel Montiel Jr., the cut man, stitching up Jorge Arce.
He gets a little work, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he earns his money.
Fourth round scheduled for 12 for the WBO Junior Featherweight World Title. Jorge Arce in this metallic silver and blue, taking on the champion, Wilfredo Vazquez Jr.
You know, much like we talked about Kelly Pavlik feeling he was liberated by not having to worry about weight at 122, Arce feels like he can concentrate on boxing, not on losing weight. And so far, to some degree, apparently he's right.
Arce won the WBO light flyweight title at 19 years old in 1998. He is fighting as a junior featherweight for the third time in a row. And I guess as you get older, Al, you just naturally, when sometimes they say you get your man weight, you start going up, and it's not as hard to maintain.
Yeah, and especially at these lower weights where it's only a 3-pound difference. Power punches very much in favor of Arce, and many of those 58 power punches I think were delivered to the body, where he's thrown some huge power punches. Yeah, I actually thought 122 was probably too high a weight for Arce, but I think he's performing very well here. And for Vazquez, it's not that he hasn't had his moments in this fight. He has. He just hasn't been consistent enough, and he's allowed himself to get trapped on the ropes against Arce more than he would like.
I think this round he's moving really, really well, and he's counter-punching effectively as well. So this is the type of fight that Vazquez is going to need to continue in order to deter Arce.
Vazquez just landed a terrific right uppercut, and Arce continues to move forward. Left hook by Vazquez, right hand by Vazquez.
He said his father, it's the brains of the outfit, Vazquez Jr. said, and I just carry out his actions. He said it's kind of like a PlayStation game. I'm being operated.
His father has the control. A lot of blood now coming out of the nose. Jorge Arce.
Arce is just undeterred. He keeps coming in. And Vazquez has yet to land the counterpunch that will hurt him.
Both fighters exchanging left hooks. Brutal now. We are going to see what the young man is made of because he is in there.
And Vazquez is
with the warrior.
Vazquez is one of those fighters that can box, but at the same time, you see he has a big heart. He don't mind standing in there, but I think that's to his detriment tonight against a fighter like Arce.
Vazquez dropping Arce with the left hook.
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
What an electric ending to the round.
All right, keep your hands up. Everything is under control. Everything's under control. Don't worry about that. You just have to be very close to him.
Well, Vazquez, who has presumably more power in his right than his left hook, landed a beauty right on the point of the jaw. The right hand was lazy coming back from Arce, and he got nailed with it. Now, the good news for Arce was it happened literally in the final seconds of the round. Now, here's the right hand. It will be very low. Oh, he throws an overhand right, keeps it low, gets banged with the left hook. And luckily for Arce, as I said, it came with just moments to go in the round. See if that minute was enough for him to shake the cobwebs.
Vazquez Jr. laid off the stool as both men meet in the center of the ring. Beautiful, stinging right hand by Vazquez Jr. to start the 5th round, scheduled for 12 as he defends his WBO junior featherweight world title.
The young fighter is fighting really, really good. I mean, that was a picture-perfect left hook. But again, like I said, he's willing to lay it all on the line, and it paid off on him with that last combination.
And it was because Arce attacks so wildly and leaves himself open so much, but often fighters don't get that counterpunch in because they're busy worrying about what they're going to be hit with.
Good uppercut.
Nice combinations by Arce. This is just a fun fight to watch.
But you're starting to see the strength of Vazquez Jr.
Should be some interesting scoring on press row. Arce leading on 2 of the scorecards and Vazquez on one of the others. And I have Vazquez, I actually have Arce ahead in this fight by a small margin, 39-37. What do you have, Antonio?
I have Arce ahead by 1 point.
Okay.
I gave Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. the 10-8 round.
Yeah.
And I gave the first 3 rounds to Arce.
I'm the same, except I made it a 10-9 round because I thought Arce controlled the whole round until the knockdown. But you make a case either way. And now it's Arce on the ropes. That's a switch. Oh, my.
Great body work by both fighters. The hook, very effective for Arce down low this evening.
Arce at 31 has been in so many wars. I mean, unmitigated wars. And you wonder if at a certain point his body will give up. But in this fight, he's showing us the relentless nature of what he can do.
Yeah, he's definitely looked fresh tonight. I mean, it's no wear and tear on this man. He's strong and he's determined.
Yep.
Kicking with that left hook to the body.
That Vazquez left hook is starting to get there, and it's hurting Arce.
You got to give that young man credit. I mean, to be able to be willing to sit there and take those type of chances, and you know, it's amazing.
25 seconds to go in the 5th. Another left hook by Vazquez Jr. Arce, though, comes back with a 3-punch combination.
I think that straight right hand may have shook up Vazquez, but he's still there.
Coming up, our main event, Manny Pacquiao, Shane Mosley. And yesterday, folks, this was the weigh-in. 8,000 people turned out for the weigh-in. 2,000 were turned away. Our James Brown hosted the weigh-in, and look at Sugar Shane.
Sugar Shane Mosley weighs in right at the limit of 147 pounds. Manny Pacquiao weighs in at 145 pounds.
Well, if it was a bodybuilding contest, who would you choose?
A lot of excitement. 8,000 people in there. A couple thousand people couldn't get in. And I'll tell you, I was at that scene as we all were. It was electric.
Have you ever seen anything like that at a weigh-in, Al, in all your years?
You know, lately
Tyson, maybe?
There have been some big ones with Pacquiao, but that one I think was the most electric I've seen so far with him.
6th round. Scheduled for 12. The WBO Junior Featherweight World Title. The champion in the white and purple trunks. Wilfredo Vazquez Jr., the challenger. Jorge Arce in the blue and silver.
Look at press row scoring. It has tightened up. Not only is it tightened up, it's a draw as far as they're concerned. You can't get any tighter than that. That, of course, is unofficial. We don't know how the judges are scoring this, but it's been a very entertaining fight, I'll tell you that much.
Arce's left hook to the body has taken a lot out of Vazquez.
Oh yeah, I mean those punches. I mean you can hear it all over the arena. Those are some devastating body shots.
Now I have it 48-47 because I didn't make that a 10-8 round, so I have a slight edge for Arce.
When Arce backs up Vazquez, it seems like he's a little bit slow with his punches, and that gives Vazquez the opportunity to land that big left hook like he dropped him with earlier, and the one he just caught him with over here early in this round.
The story of Vazquez becoming a boxer is extraordinary. He was working at a casino, got laid off, had a little daughter, went to his dad, of course, a famous boxer, said, Dad, I'm 25 years old, 21 years old, I want to box. And he said, no, you're not going to box. You have never had an amateur fight. And they kind of said, no. Well, he said, yes, I'm going to. And at 21, never having boxed. And here we are about 4 or 5 years later, and he's a champion.
And that's what's amazing to me, because I know that the amateur boxing experience is such a vivid or valid experience. And for him never to have made these type of leaps and bounds to become a champion is tremendous.
In 4.5 years with no amateur experience, it's crazy.
bloodline.
Yeah, heredity it gives you a lot. And of course, his dad was a great champion. Oh, nice right by Vazquez Jr.
But Arce follows it up with a straight right of his own, then goes downstairs with that left hook.
This is a really war of attrition right now. Close round.
Vazquez using the left hand.
Good, good. You're doing a good job here.
There was a clash of heads first, and both men coming in with their heads. Man, that had to hurt. They both banged heads together, and both men really initiated it. Then they would use their fists. And the overhand right of Vazquez as he worked on the inside, and Arce himself coming back with a chopping right hand. Then later on in the round, the firefight continued. Both men landing really dramatic punches. That left hook by Vazquez, which has been a very good punch for him throughout the fight, was able to get in. It was just a very well fought and good match.
The WBO Junior Featherweight World Title. The 7th round, scheduled for 12 as the champion, Wilfredo Vazquez Jr., WV2, the son of the legend. As a matter of fact, he and his father share a very interesting honor. The only father-son combination to win the world title in the same weight class.
Yes, I mentioned the other ones that had done it, but they were not in the same weight class. So that's pretty extraordinary. And you could tell the father took great pride in that, as did Junior.
Great test, though, for the young
ever?
Vazquez Jr., and he's showing up very well so far.
Oh, yes, he is. I'm very impressed with him for the man that he is outside of the ring. You know, he's very solid on, on solid grounds. He don't let the things that most people let excite them take control of him. He wants to give away the fame. He don't care about the money. He just want to be champion, and I commend him for that.
And he and Arce very active. Lots of punches being thrown there. Vazquez looked like he stunned Arce, but Arce throwing almost 300 punches. This is just a very action fight. Look at that action on the inside. Now, I'm not sure Vazquez really wants to be there, Antonio, but you pointed out he's got a warrior mentality. Look at him. Wow. Ooh, both men landed.
Giving and taking. Wilfredo Vazquez Jr., Jorge Arce. Great inside fighting.
I mean, this is what makes this type of fight hard to score, because both fighters are giving as good as they take.
You know, we put in the keys to victory for Vazquez to land the right hand. Almost everybody thought that would be the big punch from a distance. It's really been the left hook for Vazquez that's been more effective.
Yeah, it's been that counter left hook when Arce is opening up, and he leaves those little spots in between when he can be countered.
Vazquez Jr. knocking down Arce with the left hook at the end of the 4th round. There's a nice short left as he pivots off and throws a right hand. Barely missed.
And I said Arce wanted to make this fight messy, but Arce's shown better technique in this fight in some spots than we're used to seeing.
Oh yeah, we're seeing some 1-2s to the head, like that straight right hand.
Arce with the left hook. Right hand by Vazquez Jr. Left hook by Vazquez Jr. This kid is tough.
Man, that's some action. Wow. Man. Exciting and skillfully fought.
The MGM brand here in Las Vegas, and it's starting to fill up as we get ready for our main event, and it's one to see.
And they are being treated to a great appetizer to the Manny Pacquiao Shane Mosley fight. on the inside, both men landing good punches. You see the left hook of Vazquez getting in, and Arce's been throwing good punches, and Vazquez throwing those combinations. Both men throwing very, very good shots. Arce not wanting really to be against the ropes, but he's countering well off the ropes, which you wouldn't expect him to do. So this fight has provided us with plenty of action and lots of excitement.
We start the 8th round. The champion is in the white and purple trunks. Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. The challenger in the metallic silver and blue, Jorge Arce.
Stop.
This is for the WBO Junior Featherweight World title. Vazquez Jr. has defended his title twice, but not against a fighter like Jorge Arce.
And I think the boxing community watching this, especially pundits, are saying for Arce to be up at 122 pounds and performing this well at a weight that seems pretty high for him, it's pretty extraordinary. And I think that for the most part, Vazquez Jr. and his camp thought, look, he's a smaller man, I'll be able to handle him with my strength. Not necessarily so tonight.
But it looked like they prepared for everything.
Yes.
It seems like he's making the necessary adjustments. I like to see Arce throw that 1-2 a little crisper, rather than leaving himself out there by dragging that right hand so that he can be countered with that devastating left hook.
Yeah, but you're wishing for something that's never going to happen. Now, press row scoring, demonstrating what a close fight this is. Chris Mannix and Lance Pugmire having it for Vazquez by 2, and Tim Dahlberg a draw. I've got Vazquez Jr. ahead by 1.
Yeah, the 10-8 round definitely helped him. I have him winning 4 rounds to 3.
Yeah, so you have him 2 points ahead of this fight.
Come on.
And that's the posture Vazquez doesn't want to be in, against the ropes, with Arce digging to the body and the head. This might be a fight that raises the stock of both men, you know, because they both have fought so well and made this such an exciting fight. Arce has now thrown 521 punches in this fight to 277 by Vazquez, but Vazquez has landed 124 to 145 for Arce, so Vazquez has been very accurate with his punches.
Let's go.
Think about Arce, Al. Can he keep up this pace?
Yeah. I was just thinking that this pace has slowed just a bit, but who can blame them?
8 seconds to go in the 8th. For 12, the WBO Junior Featherweight World title, and they have left their hearts out in the ring. Wow. Great effort. Fight fans, it will not be long. The phenomenon is getting loose in his dressing room. The great Manny Pacquiao, who many consider to be the pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet, taking on a future Hall of Famer as well in Shane Mosley.
That's his strength coach, Alex Ariza, who is a big part of his success.
And Sugar Shane.
Nazim Richardson, of course, the architect of what they hope will be a winning game plan. One of the big rivalries in this fight is Nazim Richardson and Freddie Roach, 2 of the best trainers in boxing.
And it's not a party in Las Vegas, folks, without Paris in attendance.
I feel chic that we're here with him. You know that? I feel like we're in the in crowd.
Hey, we're in the building, and so is he. 9th round scheduled for 12 for the WBO Junior Featherweight World title. Wilfredo Vazquez Jr., the champion. 20-0-1 with 17 KOs at Bayamon, Puerto Rico. Taking on Jorge Arce, a former champion as well. moving up in weight, and he's fought a terrific, courageous fight. Cut on the bridge of the nose. He was dropped in the 4th round with a nice, sharp left hook from Vazquez Jr.
Now, Arce is 11-4 in world title fights. We mentioned that Vazquez, of course, undefeated in his world title fights, but this is that's a slip, not a knockdown. And we talk about the 31-year-old Arce. The last round, just as we were talking about whether he would slow down, he came on with a rush at the end of that round. But we'll see how these championship rounds treat him. Vazquez 2-0 in 12-round fights, and Arce is 9-3, a lot more experience going the distance, championship distance.
Another short left hook connecting Vazquez Jr.
Yeah, that counter left hook has definitely found a home, and I mean, I like to see him, follow that up with something. Who knows?
Come on, you guys are holding.
However, Arce does a much better job when he uses jab to get closer, as opposed to, as you mentioned, lunging forward.
Let's go, let's hold it.
Yeah, but that's his style. He's a face-first type of fighter, and he don't mind taking a few punches to get in, because when he gets in, he's going to deliver some punishment, and that's his trademark.
Yeah, Joe Cortez admonishing them for holding. I think they're holding because they're tired. I don't think it's even a ploy. I just think when they get inside, they're buying a few moments. This has been fought at a ridiculous pace.
And if they are tired, then, who can blame them? Because, they're in there letting it all go.
Yeah, I mean, this is the end of round 9 of a very tough fight. And it may boil down to who gets their second win best in these last few rounds.
Break out, come on, watch your head. Let's go.
Seconds ago in the 9th. The WBO junior featherweight world title. Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. and Jorge Arce.
There had been a round knockdown earlier in this fight, but this is not a knockdown. This is kind of a push, and good jab landed, but Arce pushed Vazquez Jr. down, and Joe Cortez doing a good job of getting there very quickly to not allow another punch to be landed. And here in this sequence, you'll see that body work by Arce and trying to land the double left hook, but he walked into a counter left hook by Vazquez. And how many of those counter left hooks have we seen during this fight? Vazquez's jab has been a weapon for the most part, but I think the jab might have been more effective for him if he had thrown it a little bit more in this fight.
Yeah, and it seems like, Arce just ran into that jab.
Yes, he did. Yeah. He wasn't going to miss it.
So the 10th round scheduled for 12 for the WBO junior featherweight world title. The champion quickly across the stool. Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. He has on the black shoes, and Jorge Arce, the challenger, with the blue.
That was a good right hand a moment ago from Vazquez. One thing I really expected in this fight was to see him throw more right hands that were effective, but that left hook has worked very well for him, so it's kind of replaced that punch.
And what I like about Vazquez is when he's delivering his shots, he's on balance. He has his legs up under him. He's turning his hips into all those shots, and that's what makes him such a powerful puncher.
It's a really good point. His technique is really good.
And things are certainly close on press row.
Well, a majority draw at this juncture. Two of the folks, Tim Dahlberg, Associated Press, Lance Pugmire, the LA Times, and had a draw. And Chris Mannix of SportsIllustrated.com has it a 2-point win so far for Vazquez Jr. in our unofficial press row scoring. I have a 2-point victory for Vazquez at this point.
And I have that same score. But hey, either one of those rounds lately could have went either way.
Absolutely. This fight could, good hook and uppercut by Vazquez. You know, in the unforgiving world of boxing, even though Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. has 17 knockouts in his 20 wins, some will look at this and say, you mean he couldn't hurt Jorge Arce bad enough to knock him out in a fight in which, that would be a slip as well, in which Arce's coming so far up in weight. Now, I think that's asking too much, but some folks may be tempted to say that. He did have Arce down in this fight.
And it's not like he hasn't landed those type of knockout punches.
Well, and I think that's the point. The question is, will he be able to be a true knockout puncher against top competition at 122?
I think he's in top-notch competition now. Arce is just determined not to be knocked out. He's going to have to hit him with a punch you don't see or catch him one of those devastating counter lefts.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a question of him coming up in weight. And I think it is too myopic a view, but some people may look at this afterwards and say that. But you are not one of them.
You know, a lot of times when a guy loses weight, sweats down, they actually weaken themselves. And a few good extra pounds of water weight on the brain and in the body does them well.
Yeah, and apparently it has for Arce. It's a very good point.
I think it's done me extremely well.
And me way too well.
Break out, come on.
But you're down to cruiserweight again, Antonio Tarver, so you're
I got
leading
my
me.
work ahead of me, believe me.
17 seconds to go in the 10th round. Scheduled for 12.
Suéltalo. Está botando mucho.
Another short left hand getting in. Vazquez, Arce flurries at the end of the round.
Pretty good round for Jorge Arce.
And that's how you have to finish.
Yep.
World famous poker player Phil Ivey in attendance for Pacquiao Mosley.
Are you feeling okay? These are the best rounds now. Close your eyes. Okay, this is the rounds we got. There's 2 rounds left. We got to really go work on it now. Just keep going close with him, and keep close to his chest. Close to his chest, and keep throwing the hook. Keep throwing the hook. That's what's working for you.
Wilfredo Vazquez Jr., the champion. Jorge Arce, the challenger. 11th round for the WBO Junior Featherweight World Title.
That shot at the end of the round explains why we have such respect for great boxers. That gash on the nose, if you're walking around on the street and you have it, you're rushing to the emergency room. He's trying to win a 12-round fight with that gash on his nose and not slowing up a beat.
Not at all. Putting his punches together. That left hook behind the elbow, very effective for Jorge Arce.
You know, right now it's pressure. He's applying some serious pressure, and that gives him the best chance to win when Vazquez has his back to the rope and is backing up.
Yes. That's the posture he doesn't want to be in. We mentioned Arce 9-3 in 12-round fights and Vazquez 2-0. So both men have had success at this level. Oh, good hooks by both men. Wow.
Come on, get his arms out. Get him out. Get him out.
And Arce still delivering the pressure.
Come on, let's go. Come on, don't pick and break. Don't pick and break.
Vazquez might be hurt here. I mean, it looks like his legs are wobbled a little bit, and he's not firing back like we're used to seeing him fire back, Gus.
Won his last fight, though, in the 11th round with the TKO.
Boy, Arce.
Ivan Hernandez. Oh, Arce with the jab. Backs up Vazquez Jr. He's on the ropes now. Arce continuing to move, throwing shots. Vazquez Jr.
He's squared up on the ring rope. Look at his legs. He's squared up. He cannot deliver any power from that position. He has to get that back leg back.
Breathing out of his mouth as well, Vazquez Jr. Now hold on to Arce.
It's important for the young fighter to get his composure right now, and he may want to just, move around. Give him some lateral movement. Don't stay there.
Vazquez Jr. looks like he's on shaky legs, and he's taken to the ground again.
And remember, this fight is close. I mean, these are championship rounds for the champion. He has to win these rounds and look good doing it.
Arce moving in again. Underneath, the body shots. Looping left hook connects.
This is making it messy and being effective, and that's what Arce's done.
10 seconds ago in the 11th round. Jorge Arce.
Vazquez's legs does not look strong to me. He's leaning on the ropes. He's going to have to regroup.
Jorge Arce, though, with a huge smile on his face.
Vazquez Jr. wobbled back to his corner. I mean, he is in some trouble.
He's hurt.
Jorge Arce just wouldn't be stopped in this round. This was when Vazquez had already been hurt, and you see, and Antonio made a terrific comment about those legs being spread apart, and he in a position where he can't fire back, he can't punch, and the legs are not really supporting him as well, only the ropes are. And later on in the round, Arce walking through punches to get to Vazquez and landing that left hook and others. And what I also liked about it, Antonio, was the fact that Arce never stopped using the body attack as well as the head.
Yeah, and you can see where that body attack really wore down Vazquez because he didn't have any legs by the end of that round, Al.
So the 12th and final round for the WBO Junior Featherweight World Title. It looks like it's close, guys. How do you have it?
Yeah, I've got a 1-point win for Vazquez Jr. right now, but, you know,
With
close.
that, I had it 2 rounds ahead before that round. I have this fight dead even.
Arce! He's got him in trouble! Arce has him on the ropes! Combinations! Arce! Left hand, right hook! Vazquez Jr. holding on! Cortez right there!
Why won't he hold? He needs to hold him.
Joe Cortez doing a good job of letting them fight through this. He sees Vazquez punching
doing the
back.
towel.
Oh, my!
Tower.
Wow.
Wilfredo Vazquez Sr. throwing the towel on his son, and Jorge Arce wins the title here in Vegas.
I don't agree with that stoppage because Vazquez had just landed a very crisp right hand. But then again, it's the inexperience and the love that a father has for a son that has never seen his son in this type of predicament. They panic.
I would say that had to do with the family relationship. This is a charming and nice young man. The father loves him. He's not been a professional forever. You see the concern in the corner. That's his father talking to him.
And again, Al, no amateur experience. An experienced amateur would have known to grab and hold at least until the referee broke him up.
And look at what Wilfredo Vazquez Sr. is saying to his child. Father, son, the disappointment in the son's face, but the wise nature of the former world champion.
Again, love stepped in. And I've been there, and he's tried to protect his son tonight rather than letting him go out on his shield if he had to. You never know how those scorecards would have read.
Well, I guess that's the key question. You certainly can't denigrate him for not wanting to see his son get punished, but this was a very close fight, and boy, what a moment for Jorge Arce. This is, in real time, what was going on when the towel was thrown in. Now, pay attention. You see Vazquez will land, I think, a left hook here. Vazquez Jr. there. He lands the right hand, but he's getting punished. There's no question about that.
Watch this devastating right hand. Vazquez in the somewhere coming up close here.
And the towel shortly will come in. And remember, his dad's on the other side of the ring, so he doesn't get a real close look at exactly what is happening. There's where the towel came in. So his son was looking across the ring at his dad when the towel came in. There was a water bottle and a towel also thrown in that will get Joe Cortez's attention. There you see they are trying to get this fight stopped.
That was Vazquez Sr. that threw the water bottle in also.
And Tuto Zavala, his junior, his promoter, rushes into the ring.
I'm curious to know, where did the official judges have this fight at the time of the stoppage?
We will find that out, that's for sure, and that will be interesting. A lot of drama here this evening already.
But what a win for Jorge Arce. He wins the WBO Junior Featherweight World title, and at the end of the stoppage, this is how it looked.
That's press row and unofficial scoring. They had it a majority draw with Vazquez Jr. had on by 2 points on Chris Mannix. So that clearly the press row scoring very, very close.
I had it a draw as well, Al. Before the stoppage, I gave Arce actually the 10th and 11th round.
Punch numbers intriguing to say the least.
So in the last month, 2 of Puerto Rico's, as you take a look, great champions have fallen. Juanma and now Wilfredo Vazquez Jr.
Both losing to great Mexican former champions. And so they're 2 up in the rivalry right this year.
And excited Jorge Arce. Now let's go inside the ring and our Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 55 seconds in round number 12. In recognizing the corner's desires, our referee in charge, Joe Cortez, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is the new WBO Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, Jorge El Travieso Arce.
Improves to 57, 6-2, and he wins yet another world championship.
The year of the upset continues. Is Shane Mosley watching all this back in that locker room and saying this is the 5th major upset within a 6-week period in the sport of boxing?
Al, I'm gonna I would say beg to differ. Would you really consider this an upset?
Yes.
When you look at Jorge Arce on all the experience, all the championship fights, he's fighting a young guy that has a great name but no amateur background. And hey, this is on his 3rd title defense. When you really look at it, I wouldn't consider it an upset.
I agree, but I think Vazquez Jr. as a champ was probably the favorite. But I agree with you. I understand what you're saying.
Good points by both men. As you take a look at the time of the stoppage, the scorecards.
Very intriguing that Robert Hoyle had a huge margin for Arce, liking his aggression, okay, but the other judges had it even. Now, let's just assume that the fight wasn't stopped. Probably then, he would have certainly lost the last round, Vazquez Jr., and probably
we would have a new champion
in any case. So I don't know if the stoppage had an effect on who was going to win, but it clearly was a close fight on 2 scorecards.
And again, taking nothing away from Wilfredo Vazquez Jr., he'll learn from this fight, take some time off, and hey, he has to get back to the drawing board. There's some things he could have done to save himself tonight.
And that was a monumental effort by that man, Jorge Arce, way up in weight from where he started at 31.
And he told us he would do it.
Yes, he did.
So congratulations to Jorge Arce as he defeats Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. and takes the WBO Junior Featherweight World Championship. Now let's go back to our host position and our fine host, Mr. James Brown.
All right, Gus, it was the veteran savvy that got it done. The youngster, I love his heart, but it was a father's instincts and intelligence that said, let's put a halt to this. Well, folks, coming up, that was a nice hors d'oeuvre setup for the main event.